So we've got all of our components out of the box, and we've checked it all over, it looks good. Next thing we need to do is give everything a wash. Now it might be tempting to skip this stage, but trust me, that's really not what you want to do. You really need to do this. And the reason why you need to do that is because when Forge World is producing these parts, in order to get the components out of the mould, they have to pump a release agent into the mould, which is a chemical which makes it easier for the two halves of the mould to be pulled apart and for the component to be more easily released. And that has the other effect of making it so that the parts feel slightly greasy, I guess. And it basically means that it makes it almost impossible to stick these together securely with super glue. And it also means that paint won't stick to the surface properly either. So it's a really good idea to give these parts a wash beforehand. And you can do that quite easily. All you need is some warm water with some normal washing up liquid. I suggest you use an old toothbrush as well. What you want to do is get your toothbrush, pour a little bit of washing up liquid onto the surface of the toothbrush, get it wet and rub it a little bit just to get some suds going, and then take your component that you want to wash, get it wet, and then literally just give it a good old scrub with your toothbrush. And you need to make sure that you get the bristles in all of the recessed detail. You want to make sure that you get rid of all of that release agent. Now this can take a little while, especially with larger components. I dread to think what it must be like for people who thought that it would be a good idea to buy one of the new Forge World Warlord Titans. I know that when I built my Tiger Shark AX10 for my Tau army, it took me ages to do this, particularly for the main hull section, because that's a very large single piece of resin and it took ages to clean that. But for things like this, it's not too bad. And you just want to make sure that you give everything a good old scrub, and you just rinse it off. Give it a rinse under the tap, and you're pretty much done. You just stick it onto one side to dry, move on to the next component. So there we go, guys. I've got all my parts washed and sitting out on the side to dry. One other reason why you want to do this is the scrubbing actually gives a very slight abrasion to the surface of the components. Makes it easier for paint to stick, so that's another reason why you want to do this. But the main reason is to get rid of the release agent, obviously. One other way that you can do this is actually by filling a tub or a bucket full of warm water and washing up liquid, and then you can leave the parts in there to soak for a bit and then take them out and scrub them afterwards. But if you've got a smaller model like this one, then doing it in the sink is just fine. So there we go. The next part of this video series we'll be moving on to will be how to clean these parts up, filing down things like mould lines, cutting off the gates and whatnot, and getting all the model components ready to actually put together.